You know that moment where everything feels loud? The apps, the notifications, the ideas, the pressure to keep up? That's where I've been, in the noise. But lately, I've been learning. Finding your voice isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about finding where you actually feel safe enough to speak from truth. I used to chase every tool that promised to make things easier, smarter, shinier, faster. But somewhere in that, I realized I was scattering my energy. I was building systems without realizing I was also giving away little pieces of myself, my data, my focus, my peace. And people tell me they're afraid that if they use AI, they're being watched, every prompt trains the model, that privacy is gone. But memory doesn't equal training, and training doesn't equal retention. There are real controls that define what stays private. And that's when SOC 2 and data privacy stopped sounding like boring tech words and started sounding like boundaries. Safety in AI isn't about rules, it's about trust. And that trust starts with how we use these tools intentionally, not impulsively. And I get it. Open source sounds safer because it's open, but labels don't guarantee safety. Controls do. That's the real standard I use when evaluating tools. Access, logs, data flow, and consent. I had to relearn how to feel safe creating again. Because when you've been moving in constant noise, silence can actually feel scary at first. But it's in that quiet that I started hearing my real ideas again. The ones that weren't trying to perform, just exist. Some people think the safest thing is to avoid AI altogether, but responsible use always beats abstinence. The goal isn't to stop using the tools, it's to use them with boundaries, approvals, logs, least privilege, and choice. Now, I build systems differently for myself, for my clients, for the people who rely on AI every day. Systems that don't just automate, but anchor. Because AI should be an extension of your voice, not a replacement for it. Inside Custom Systems AI, everything starts with system prompts that define your values, your policies, your tone. The agent doesn't decide your agenda, you do. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by the noise, take that as your sign. You're not behind. You're just invited to slow down, to get safe, and to start listening again. That's where your real voice is waiting. When you know your tools, you stop fearing them. You start feeling safe enough to create again. And that's where the real ideas come through. This is what I mean when I say from noisy to safe. It's not about silence, it's about clarity. And it's not about controlling everything either. It's about building spaces, both digital and personal, where your voice can actually breathe. From noisy to safe isn't about muting the world. It's about building trust in your tools, your systems, and yourself.